Hey, all my Scorpio friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and I'm here today to talk about some of the planetary activity that's going to take place in 2023 that is really going to set up the experiences that we have in 2024, 25, and beyond. So for the purposes of clarity, I'm doing this video on whole sign Western astrology. So it's based on Scorpio rising, moon, sun, and stelliums. If you do not know where your moon is, or what your ascendant is for that part, all you need to do is go to one of the free birth calculators on the internet. You'll need your exact time of birth and location in order to determine what that is. And I think that's super important for you to get a good idea of your birth chart and your soul's intention for this lifetime. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about Saturn's entry into Pisces. Pluto's going to dip its toe into Aquarius for a few months this year. Then Jupiter's going to move into Taurus, and the nodes are going to change access to the Libra Aries axis. So all of this is going to be pretty powerful, and especially for Scorpio, because you've been having the South Node transiting your first house for quite some time. And, sometimes that's not easy. So, all right, let's jump in. So Scorpio, Saturn moving into Pisces, March 8th, 2023 until May 24th, 2025 is going to be in your fifth house of romance. And I believe that this is going to be a time when Saturn is going to ask you to take a realistic look at how you are viewing romance, how you're viewing all things related to the fifth house. So let's talk about what the fifth house by nature rules. It rules your entertainment. It rules fun. It rules hobbies. It rules playtime. It rules the performer. It rules the class clown. It rules the conception of children. It rules romance. It rules your personal expression out into the world. So that's why we call it the performer. So you're taking your skills and you're putting them on a stage and putting your heart at risk to see if the stage and the audience will applaud. So here Saturn could potentially stoke your fears. Saturn could put a sense of feeling of, have I done the work? Have I built a strong structure? Pisces by nature is very creative. It's imagination, fantasy. It rules dance. It rules poetry, music. It rules film, photography. So I want to offer it this way because Scorpio, I think what Saturn is going to ask you is not to be afraid, but to be willing to put in the hard work, discipline, and maturity to fully flesh out your ideas, to fully allow them to blossom and to trust that inner knowing. Scorpio is a water sign, and it's a deeply psychological sign. And what you've been going through with the South Node in your first house has been pulling away anything that's toxic, anywhere you've had a codependency, anywhere you've given up your power to another person, another idea, another concept, another institution. And here in your fifth house, I think it's going to offer a real wonderful opportunity to master and to build your dreams in the material world. But part of it is you're going to have to be brave enough to say, I know what's happened historically. Now what's going to happen? What kind of history am I going to create today? Saturn rules the skeletal system of the body. So I believe what you're building is the skeleton here for birthing what you want into the material world. And if that is an actual child and you've had challenges with that, I want to offer this because the dynamics that we've walked through, if they're in your birth chart, they're very challenging. 2 years ago, we had a Saturn-Pluto conjunction. That would be a strong, strong challenge in a birth chart. So maybe now as the planets these challenging dynamics are kind of dissipating a bit, you may find it much easier to bring forth another little soul to this earth than you have in previous times, okay? Because now I'm going to kind of segue into Pluto moving into Aquarius. It's going to stay at the 0 degree for 3 months it's about 3 months. It's March 23rd until June 11th. In your fourth house of home. in your fourth house of self-nurturing, care, self-care, the natural house of the mother, the mothering maternal energy, the nurturer, the intuitive, it also represents your homeland and your family and the experiences you had within the family and the permissions that gave you to be who you are. So Pluto going into Aquarius is going to offer liberation from that. It's going to offer maybe even a bit of rebellion. In the beginning, at this 0 degree, I think it's going to offer the epiphanies, the mental processes that then allow you to build in the material world. So the combination of Saturn moving into Pisces, and then about less than maybe 2 weeks, a little bit over 2 weeks later, Pluto moving into Aquarius, while they're not having a direct conversation, the houses that they're moving into directly affect your home and your creativity. So you could very well find yourself becoming a parent, not a parent, meaning a parent, parent. Meaning a parent. Anyway, so I think this is super exciting. Now, on a mundane level, meaning on an outside in the material world, outside our individual lives, I think seeing Saturn move into Pisces. Pisces rules hospitals, it rules research, it rules mental illness. And I think what we may see is more governmental restrictions or authorities or requirements connected to some of the things that have gone on the last couple of years. I think part of that restriction is about illuminating the individual to their own individual rights, their own individual perceptions and abilities to care for themselves. So this feels a little bit challenging, but I think as we experience these restrictions within our medical system, our food supply, our education, the financial institutions, all of these are, I believe, going to be touched upon. And Saturn in some ways is going to put a blanket on things, because the old ways are being renovated and new ways are being implemented. And the powers that be are not all aligned to this evolution. So many people will want to hang on to what they've known, Saturn, history, tradition. And, technology is advancing and moving forward very, very quickly, changing the landscape of how we do things. So this could bring disillusion. We could find, that what we used to think we can trust this, the little, whoever's got their hands out like this, holding us when we're driving our car. There's all these illusions that have been created through the media to make us feel safe and secure. And I think what we're going to start to see is some of those illusions are being broken, popped, as information bubbles up. Pluto will do that as well when it moves into Aquarius. I think also what we'll see, and I'm kind of excited about this, I don't know why, but I think we're going to see structures starting to be built out into the oceans, both for research and for potential living. But I don't know initially that people will live on the water. I think what will start off is creating sustainable structures to explore the depths of the ocean. I think we'll find ancient structures, or maybe even, battleships or pirate ships or civilizations that we have only theorized about. And now we'll find evidence as we have this Saturn going through Pisces transit. And I want to offer it this way, because I think that this is going to illuminate that we are not alone here on this planet, that there is much more life in the solar system than we may have given credit for. So this is kind of exciting to me. But ultimately, Saturn's sojourn, Saturn's journey through Pisces is always going to be about mastering and building my dreams. And to have a bit of a realistic slant on that, meaning there are certain structures that this earth plane requires to build. Gravity, that's one of the structures. So I think we're going to start to implement those divine laws as we build. And that is going to be very powerful, because one of those divine laws is the law of attraction. That which you focus on is made manifest in your world. So this is very exciting. Now we have your ruling planet, Pluto, moving into Aquarius for just 3 quick months before it retrogrades back into Capricorn. It will stay at the 0 degree. This will start March 23rd and go all the way till June 11th. I think this is really a time for revolutionary thoughts. I feel as if there's going to be an awareness that suddenly comes upon us that makes us more influential over the things around us. I think this is going to illuminate where power and control is out of balance, where there has been information that has either been not completely disclosed or hidden from us, that has somehow impeded us from our full expression on this planet. I think we're going to see in general a real Uranian influence here, where people are focused in on civil rights and humanitarian endeavors and wanting to create a more transparent and authentic dynamic, both with information that we receive and the independence that we get to assert over our own lives. I also think we're going to see more internet platforms being developed or being launched over the next few years that are going to give everybody more opportunities to be their own master of their own resources and their own income and domain there. Technology is going to start to move so quickly. We'll get a glimpse of this when Pluto moves into Aquarius, but when Pluto moves in for its 20-year stay in 2024, and Uranus moves into Gemini, we'll see a glimpse of that in 2025. Technology is going to be it's going to go so quickly. And we're really going to start to, I think we're going to see flying cars. I think we're going to see holographic business meetings and things that appeared sci-fi at one point for some of us. I also think that it's going to be really fun. People are going to start to find their soul tribe. Because of the technology and because of the advancements, we're going to be able to connect with people that are of like-mindedness that we otherwise would not have access to. So I think this is really powerful and exciting. And I think it's going to, in many ways, give us a glimpse into what our new realities will be as we move into this more technological period of humanity. And then we have for Scorpio, we have Jupiter moving into Taurus in May 16th, 2023, and Jupiter will stay in Taurus until the 24th of May, 2024. Jupiter represents the husband, the teacher, the sage, the wise one in ancient times. And often during a 7th house transit, we see people getting married. So there's that for you if you're not married. If you are married, well, you could see a real blossoming and an expansion within your partnership. You may feel a new sense of life and joy and good luck and benefit there. Jupiter, for the most part, brings bounty wherever it goes. So this is exciting. I think also in Taurus, you know, we've seen Scorpio and Taurus were on the eclipse axis in 2022. Some of those accesses will be triggered in 2023. And I think this is where you're going to get an opportunity to root some of the things that were unearthed in 2022 for you. So in general, Jupiter's transit in Taurus is going to bring an expansion of self-reliance, an expansion of sustainable products and services, a re-examination of family influences, and an expansion of income. And I believe an expansion of comfort and of a feeling of security. And for me, the combination of Saturn in your 5th house, Pluto breaking up any old stories from your 4th house of home, I think Scorpio may really start to endeavor and feel this strength of partnership, both intimately with a connection and also within your workplace, where you're feeling more valued and you're seeing that with cash in the bank for your efforts. Now we have the nodes. The North Node is going to move into Aries, which is your 12th house, and the South Node is going to move into Libra, which is your, South Node is your 6th house, Libra, and the North Node, let me back that up. 6th house is Libra, 12th house, I'm messing this up. Hold on. Scorpio, 12th house is Libra, 6th house is Aries. Okay. I'm sorry. My brain, I wrote it down properly and my brain kind of fritzed out. I really think that this is about, Scorpio gets a little bit of a bad rap for that stinger. And I think the reason is because most humans like to ignore the deep psychology of where they and how they make their decisions and how they take their actions. And Scorpio is not that. Scorpio is really transparent and authentic, to the point of appearing dominant sometimes. So in the 6th and the 12th house, I think this is going to give you an opportunity to, because these are the houses of health and the houses of there's a real spiritual nature in some ways to that 12th house. And yet at the same time, it can be where we don't feel seen. So I think that as the nodes change and Aries goes into your 12th house, you're going to start to feel braver about your connection to spirit, looking at some of the behaviors and the habits that you have that are not supporting your joy, where you may have experienced illusion or disillusionment or fantasy, and now you're willing to let the fog clear. Again, that's Pisces naturally rules the 12th house. Here we see Aries being very brave, very determined, very intentional. And then we see Libra in this 6th house is about this opportunity for you to really create harmony with yourself, because now your inner knowing is aligned to your dreams and your hopes, and you're not fooling yourself anymore about certain relationships or certain dynamics in work. And this is going to support more balance for you. I don't know if this is going to be so easy for Scorpio. There's a part of me that actually thinks that this may be a little bit more challenging than experiencing the South Node going through your 1st house, because when it comes to all of these ideas of romance and partnership, if you have experienced any significant loss during the South Node's transit, you may inadvertently want to overassert yourself in this nodal structure, and Spirit's going to ask you to trust a little bit more and to dig deeper into inner knowing and to meditate and to retreat and to reassess your own personal psychology. So I think that's going to be very powerful for you and very transformational. So it's going to be an interesting time. And for those of you, I would love to hear back. If you go through this transit and you find yourself going from single to married over the next year, I'd love to hear that comment, because I'm always kind of, in modern times, we refer to Mars as the partner, and in ancient times, it's Jupiter. When Jupiter went through my 7th house, nothing happened for me. So I'd just be curious to see. Let me know. Anyway, that's it for me today, Scorpio. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an intuitive astrologer. Please join me Sunday mornings where we look at the week ahead's transits, and we get the angels' advice for how best to handle that. I call them angel scopes. And again, that's live 11 a.m. Pacific time. Please like, please subscribe, please share, and hit that notification bell. I'll see you soon, Scorpio. Peace out.